Hi, everybody. Good to see you. David will be here in a few minutes. We've had kind of a busy morning in a little bit, and I was late getting him up, so he's kind of running a little late getting here. Um, it's been one of those mornings already. I got up early, got busy, got an upset stomach, so I thought I'd sit down for a few minutes and rest and drink a little bit of lemon water and see if that didn't help, and fell asleep and woke up about 11:10. So I've been rushing around like crazy trying to get everything ready for the YouTube. Hello, whoever you are. We have two showing as being online. Come on in, sign in, please. Hit your thumbs up and let us know who you are. It's been a long, very, very hectic week. For those of you that remember, we announced last week or told y'all last week we were having our house fumigated. When you have large birds, unfortunately, they are messy, and their messes, even when you clean them up every single day religiously, tend to draw bugs. So every so often we have to have our house fumigated, and this was a week for it. And unfortunately, in order to do that, we have to get everything out of the closets and all the furniture away from the walls and just all kinds of work. Hi, Joe. Good to see you. David will be here in a minute. So it was a lot of work getting ready. And they came in on Thursday afternoon. We had to stay out of the house for 4 hours. Got back in Thursday night about 7 and got dinner and got busy putting things back. I'm still busy putting things back together. So it's been a very busy, busy time here. Thank you. Yeah, it will be nice to go for a while now without the bugs again. I hate them. Hello, Rolling Homestead. It's good to see you. Allie, hi. Welcome. I'm glad to see you showed up too. I was just explaining it's been a very busy week for me. We had our house fumigated because when you have big birds, they make big messes and cause the draw of household roaches and things like that. We had to get the house fumigated. Thank you. Green was my favorite color for many, many years. And then for some reason, I just switched over to purple. Hi, Country Homestead Preacher and Ruth. Welcome. Good to see you today. But, oh, while we were outside, you see this lovely little thing here. The dog got out of the fence. And when he gets out of the fence, he goes running. And our next door neighbor has a very, very large German Shepherd. And my dog doesn't like his dog. And so I had to try and catch our dog and get him back in the fence. And when I caught him, I had to pick him up because I didn't have a leash and he didn't have his halter on. All it had was his collar. So in the process of trying to carry him back home, he decided he wanted down and got me real good with his claws. And I have a pretty good tear here and another one going back this way. It was a nasty mess. Yes, Allie, it has been a huge amount of work. And also, David and I have been talking for a long time about needing to go through stuff and get rid of things, especially since two of my three sisters passed away in 2017, and the majority of their stuff came to my house. So we've been trying to go through. Hello, Sandra. It's good to see you. Welcome. Anyway, I've been trying to go through and get rid of things, and we decided that since we were getting ready for fumigation and having to go through things anyway, we would just do a better job of it and get rid of a bunch of stuff. So I have taken multiple trips of things over to a consignment shop and others to Goodwill, and I have more to do as I bring the stuff back into the house. But we're sizing down on this stuff. The bird food and the bird poop, Allie. Um, Birds poop about every 20 minutes, or at least our guys do. And even though I change the papers in the bottom of their cages every night before I put them to bed, you still have all the night and the next day that it sits in the bottom of their cage and it just attracts the roaches and there's just nothing around it. So sizing down frees the home in. Yes, it does, and it is really. While it's been a lot of work, it's getting better.
It was just time for a major bug killer.
Yeah. Hi, White Family. Good to see you. I'm doing better now. We got our house fumigated last week, and now I'm downsizing, going through stuff, and oh, it's wonderful. A labor of love and a labor of self-preservation, Allie. I hate household bugs. I just hate them. And I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff, and it's going to help. I just know it will. So, David's here. He'll be in screen in just a minute.
I just had a sneasel attack.
Yeah. Mallow
Sneezed about
Alapim.
20 times.
Hello, it's good to see you, Mallow. Welcome, Firefly Farms. Hello, Lori. It's good to see you too. David said he had a sneasel attack and had to wait until the sneezing quits before he could come in and join us. But he's ready to join us now. So, my goodness, we've got a lot of new folks here today. Folks that either haven't been here at all or haven't been here in a while. Welcome to all of you. It's good to see you. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up when you come in so we can show YouTube that you support our content. We're trying real hard to grow this up to at least where the last channel was. I'm on my French channel. I'm in Quebec.
Okay.
Well, welcome to Quebec Homestead as well, or Quebec. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce that right. Hello, Susanna. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you sharing out the channel and the live stream. White Family Farm says she had a sneezing fit yesterday, too. David seems to have several during the day.
Well,
He never knows quite sure when they're going to attack. And when he sneezes, he doesn't sneeze just once. He sneezes at least 3 times.
that's the rule. 3 sneezes.
Do what, honey?
That's the rule. 3 sneezes come in 3s.
Yeah.
At
You'll
least
probably
for
have to
me.
pull that a little further. I didn't pull it
Yeah,
real far
I'll
down.
get around to it.
That time of year, yes, it is that time of year for a lot of people. And
Hi, folks. I'm coming. I'll get there in a minute. Ta-da! Here I am in all my glory
there you go.
with my wolf shirt.
Wow, look, our thumbs are up to 9.
Cool.
Got 11 watching and thumbs up. That is great news. We had a lot of rain this morning. I woke up to rain, and it was raining very hard, and it kept going until, well, it stopped sometime when I was asleep. So Ruth says, hi, David.
Hi, Ruth.
Now there's lots of beautiful breezes out there. I was out looking at my peach trees this past week, and not only did they make it through the freeze, but they bloomed beautifully and put on lots of new leaves. And I was looking at it this week, and there are some little tiny baby peaches starting. So I'm very pleased that they're doing well.
Me too.
Maybe this year we'll get peaches for the first time.
Yeah, right. I'll believe it when I see it. When I bite into that peach, then I'll believe
There
it.
you go. And the mulberries have started. They're all leafed out now, so I'm hoping we'll get some mulberries this year, at least from the red, if not from the white one as well.
You know, that light helps a lot, but it sure is bright.
No, well, don't look at it.
That's my Kate. She's always got spot on advice, boy. If you don't know what to do, ask Kate.
There you go.
She'll give you the answer. Might be wrong, but she'll give you the answer.
Joe says he'll believe it when he sees it too.
Yeah. What's this here? What is that?
That's my notebook that I write
okay,
the prayer
okay.
request thing.
I got up late.
No, my fault.
Yeah, Kate normally on Sunday normally wakes me up about 11 to roll me out. So I got time to get up, and it takes me quite a while to get dressed and take care of my morning routine. And today it was 12:15 before she woke me up, so I had to hustle through and just do the best I could. So
Yeah, I fell asleep and
here I am in all my glory. Oh, is that what happened? You fell asleep too? Okay, that's acceptable. That's okay. No
thank
sweat.
you.
No sweat. Okay, I got to catch up here. Let's see. Okay, hello. Hi, Diamond Willow. Joe Morgan, I've been sharing. Okay, good. I'm
He's been
glad.
sharing this out to people.
Oh. Yeah, those sneezing fits,
What you doing?
like Kate was saying. Go ahead.
I just saw White Family was going to her mom's for Sunday lunch. That sounds
Oh,
good.
that sounds good.
Except not at my house. My mom at 91 doesn't cook as well as she used to.
No.
Joe's been relaxing today. That's always a good thing. I did
Well,
that.
I'll be relaxing too once we get done with this. But
Yes, I did a lot of relaxing on Friday. Thursday was the day they came to spray the house. So Friday, I was so exhausted, I could barely lift my head off the back of the chair. So I sat around and relaxed until about 6, and then I got up and got busy.
And about all I do is relax with a little burst of stuff in between.
Well, yesterday
Very
you were
small.
pretty busy helping me put things back and move furniture. We discovered that his power chair can really push furniture around
It
very
works
well.
like a forklift or a tank. I mean, it'll push things. It'll push our couch
Which is a
which is a
6
big-
foot long,
big
very heavy
couch.
couch.
if I get it situated right so that my little footstool catches like on a corner. Man, I could drive that thing all over the room.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this has been a rather busy week. It was time for a major bug fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you a quick story about when I first moved down to Woodville.
Which is in Florida.
It's in Florida, south, just about 10 miles south of Tallahassee. Anyway, I moved into a double wide, and I was by myself. It was just me, the birds, dog, and cat. And I didn't know it when I took the place and moved in, but it was just overrun with roaches and a lot of other native
household
North
critters.
Florida bugs. A lot of silverfish and cockroaches. So I figured, well, I gotta get rid of these, and I gotta figure out a way to do it and protect my birds and my critters. So I went and looked on the lovely little internet, and I ended up at the University of Florida, and they have an entomology section there on their website for the whole university that is just phenomenal. I mean, it broke down everything I needed to do just for my part of the country, what chemicals I could use, which ones I needed to avoid, which ones were harmful to animals. I mean, I got my whole game plan. Which what do they call that?
Exo Wars.
Well, I called it the Exo Wars. That was the name that I gave the whole operation. But I had to go. It took me a month to get ready before I even laid down the fumigation. I had a 3-day weekend. That's when I finally got it all finished. But I mean, I was vacuuming and then shampooing carpets and looking for any kind of breaks to the outside and filling those in with caulk, putting out roach bait, even on like the drawer pulls. I mean, I did a better job than any exterminator ever would have. And then the final thing was putting down the actual spray. And that was when the birds and I all went outside for a couple hours. And but I got them, by God, I got them. And one of the best descriptions I saw for how to know if your fumigation efforts are working or your extermination efforts are working is the chemical that I was using. They said, if you see a cockroach and he's acting confused, okay, how do you define a cockroach that is acting confused? Well, I found out. I walked in one morning, flipped on the switch in the kitchen, and there was 2 or 3 cockroaches on the floor.
Exactly it, Alex.
And they were just kind of wandering around. They were confused.
They didn't run.
They didn't take off when I flipped on the light, and it was still dark outside, pretty dark. So, I was getting up like 6:45 to get ready for work, and I flipped on the light, and there's 3 or 4 cockroaches on the kitchen floor, and they're just kind of, hey man, what's up? So I got to see my confused cockroaches.
The other thing that particular medication or spray did was it would make their wings, instead of going along their bodies like this, they can be up a little bit and crossed over.
It made them cross their wings.
So
that was
you
another
knew
way.
that they had been exposed if you saw these wings crossed over above their back.
So it was pretty cool. But anyway, I successfully obliterated a couple of million cockroaches, I'm sure, by the time I was over it. Because I was treating outside, around the outside of the trailer, not the ground. But I mean, I did a lot of research and I did a lot of battle. So, and when you got big birds like this, every now and then it's just something you got to do. You really do. I mean, you can fight on a daily, weekly, monthly basis and
Which we
have
do.
a lot of success. But you know that for every cockroach you see, there's roughly 40 somewhere else that you're not seeing. So it was just time to get with it, and when we did that, and
Yes, we do.
we in the process, because we had to pull all furniture away from the walls, we decided to redo our bedroom and rearranged it so that
Take
it's
care, Wad family.
more efficient
Enjoy
for
your
me
dinner.
to get around with my wheelchair, with my power chair. And last night was the first night we tried it out. Did you sleep okay? Did it work for
I
you?
was absolutely gone until 9 o'clock this morning.
So it worked for you. Okay.
It worked very well. Do these electric plug-ins work? Not here, they don't. I don't think they work at all, Allie. By the way, you say you're hungry,
No,
but
they
you don't
don't.
know what you want to eat. What do you have as a suggestion? I mean, do you have multiple things to choose from? Maybe we can help you figure out what you should eat.
I tell you what, Allie, if asking about what works to really the things that they talk about, the bombs or the things that you set off and leave, those are worthless. They only work on contact. So in other words, it's got to land on the bug, which if they're in the walls or wherever, it's not. It's going to land on the surfaces, and then whenever the bugs come out, it doesn't land on them. So what you need is something that has a residual effect. Oh, pizza.
Susanna wants
Yeah,
pizza.
I had pizza last 2 nights, so I'm going to be looking for something else tonight.
Well, you got half a pizza left.
Do I really?
You got 2 pizzas left, 2 slices.
Okay. Well, I might eat that this afternoon and something.
There you go. Going to get takeout. How about burgers, Allie?
Yeah, Allie, we do a lot of takeout now. It's just
Lately, I've been too busy to cook.
as much food preparation and things that Kate does, we end up eating out a lot. So now if takeout doesn't ever work, we're set. I mean, if all of a sudden the takeout restaurants disappeared, we're good to
we
go.
could still eat.
We're good to go. Yeah, that next big project really is Kate's Pantry.
Yeah.
We still don't have any word on whether or not we're going to be able to get the grant work done for the house for the home improvements. For those of you that know, the VA approved a grant for me for about 20 grand to make our place more handicapped accessible and wheelchair friendly, all that. We've got one estimate back from the first guy that came by and took a look. Told him right up front, I said, all I got's 20 grand. And I don't want to spend it all on this project because there's other things I want to do with some of that money too. $44,000 they come back to build us a deck
And put a
out the
door.
back and put like a French door, double wide door so we can roll out the bird cages. Put a roof or a cover over the deck, and that's it. That's all. But some of the ludicrous things on there, like $2,500 for the CAD drawings. Now you want to tell me that they don't have a library of 1,000 designs of decks that they can just go to and okay, he wants a 14 by 18 rectangular. Yeah, here we go. That's JK 12.
Mhm.
Here you go. And they want $2,500 to pull that out of a drawer? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You
I was just floating.
I was flabbergasted at the estimate. And the labor costs. My God, these people are making money hand over fist. Now, I'm going to pay a fair wage. I will pay a fair wage. But let's see, there was something on there that was ridiculously simple. I mean, it wouldn't take more than an hour or two to do. And it was like $600 for labor. For
Well, I know.
like maybe an hour or two's work.
I know they had to put the frame for the door, and then they had to buy the door, and then they had to put the door in.
Yeah, and how
Those
much
were
was that?
3 separate charges.
Yeah, and they were charging like
$600 or $700.
$1,200 just for the door.
Yeah.
I ought to go get that. I think I've got that estimate in there. It's good reading. It's funny.
I read
It was
and I
very,
thought,
the other ones are overdue.
yeah, they should
Because
have
we're
been
going to end up with 4 estimates because this one I grabbed just out of the blue. And then after I got a hold of my VA guy, he recommended sort of 3 guys for me to go ask to take a look. And they did. They came by 2 weeks ago. And all 3 of them said, we'll have an estimate to you within, 10
Couple
days.
weeks.
10 days, 2 weeks. Well, I haven't seen them yet. So I'm getting a little antsy because I want to get started on this before it gets too damn hot.
Allie, we will find a way to use that money. We will. That money will not disappear.
And the other side of that coin is even using this 20,000, we're still eligible, and my VA guy is encouraging me to finish, or I have finished my application for another one that is significantly larger, goes up to like $90,000 to rehab the rest of the house. In other words, that one would go into redoing the master bath and the other baths too, to put in elevated toilets and all that stuff. One bathroom would like to tear the tub out and put in a walk-in tub and have one also in the master bath. Tear out the carpeting virtually all over the house and put in hard floors.
The only place
Which
in
we
our
don't know-
house
we don't
that's
know what's
not
under here.
carpeted is the kitchen and right by the front door. Everything else is carpeted.
They carpeted the bathrooms.
Yeah,
Who does that?
crazy.
Who puts carpet in their bathrooms? Unless you want to put a little carpet in front of the toilet to keep your feet warm. I mean, that's it. Okay, anyway.
Good deal on ammo this week, so the weather is nice. You get to take your dad out to the range.
Oh, cool.
He
That's
will
good.
enjoy that, Joe. He will
Yep.
enjoy that. Good for you.
I haven't shot a gun in so many years. And I used to love, I was on the NRA rifle team when I was 12 years old, shooting in state competitions in Arizona.
How long have we been in this house? 9 years.
About 9 years now. Yeah. Moved in March of 12 or 13.
12.
12.
We married in April. We came back here in August.
Yeah, or no, it was
Of 11.
October when we came back here.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, it was March of 12, I guess, when we moved in here.
That's right, because you got the notice that you're retiring on August the 31st of
Yeah,
2011.
and then we left around the first part of
Right.
October.
You talk about a job and in a hurry. We packed up our entire household and had it ready to move in a month.
And there was a lot of stuff. Kate brought a lot of stuff with her from
Yeah,
Texas.
well, I thought I was going to be there for a while. I did not know I was going to be there less than a year.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we got back and it was
Hi,
chaos.
Amy.
It was
Hi, Brett.
chaos when we got back here to San Antonio and living in her house. I was real glad to get out of there. And at the time when we moved here, Kate's sister lived up front. And she was, of Kate's 3 sisters, Mona was my fave.
She's also my baby sister. She's
So
the youngest of my 2
I
younger
enjoyed
sisters.
being around Mona and having her as a friend and sister-in-law. She passed way too soon, well, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
She passed on way too soon. I miss her. I really do.
Why is Walmart so
Hi,
busy,
Amy.
Brett?
How are you?
Bless you.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
Country Homestead Preacher. Oh, good. You did stay. I wasn't sure if you stayed or not, Country Homestead. Hey, look at that. 100%. 12 watching and 12 thumbs up.
There
Yay.
we go. Good for us. It's all because of you, darling.
Oh, now at 13. Brett must have been thumbs up.
It's all because of you.
Oh, no.
Yep. I'm just the tag along.
Not in my eyes.
I'm the sidekick in this relationship.
Or at least online.
Yeah.
Well, my mom is excited. I talked to her yesterday on the phone, and I'm going to go to her house tomorrow. And she and my dad have had a terrible time with telephones. They're just, the technology of today just confuses them so badly. And I got them a household phone because they have a household line as well as their 2 cell phones.
What she got is great. Go ahead and tell what you got.
I got them a 1960s Rotodial
Rotary dial.
desk phone, wired.
Rotary dial.
Yeah, and it truly does. It is really a rotary dial. Yeah, and I told my mom about it, and she's so excited she doesn't know what to do. She said that one she knows that they can learn how to use. I said you don't have to learn; you've already done it. See, what is this? Can I find another nonprofit to combine it with for the labor costs? The lumber is high for a while.
Probably not. I mean, once they give me this money, it's actually they administer all the money. I mean,
Yeah, we don't see the money.
I
at all.
choose the contractor, and essentially I kind of sign off on the work as it goes along, I guess. And then they bill the VA, and the VA pays them directly. So I never see the money, which is perfect. I'd rather have it that way because then there's no question about how the money gets used.
Well, my dad on the phone, on the way home, had to make a trip to home. Yeah, my stepdad used to have a pocket-sized flip phone, one of those lively senior phones,
And I want to, yeah. Exactly.
and he loved it. He really did. And then he lost it somewhere, and we don't know where. I went and got him the same kind of phone again, but the technology was slightly different. And something happened between when he lost it and when I got him the new one. He cannot grasp how to use it. It's very, very simple to use.
He's getting really bad.
But I think he had another slight stroke, but he just can't do it. It really confuses him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's got
So-
another stroke.
They wanted phones that they could carry around with them so that they could have a main phone and an extension, but they wanted to be able to carry them. So I got them those, and they were little wireless that they could carry around the house and just put them in the base to charge them, and there would be no problem.
Remember what they used to call the cordless phones back in
Yeah.
the day when you had they were still house phones. You stuck them in a cradle and they worked in the house. That's what you got them.
But Dad can't
didn't work
remember to put it back on the cradle so it charges, and he gets very upset when he picks up the phone to use it and it doesn't work. And he says it's the phone's fault, it's not his fault. So I decided on my own that I was going to buy them one of these corded desktop telephones.
He started butt dialing her about every other day, and just because he didn't know how to use his phone, so he was just punching buttons, I guess, and would end up calling Kate and saying, "Why are you?" And then he would ask, "Why are you calling me?" Actually, you called me. So anyway,
I'm going to take the phone to them. I'm going to sit down with a piece of notebook paper and write out every one of their contacts and the phone number so that they can call them.
yeah,
And
that's
I know they can dial a dial phone and use it because it goes back to the times they remember well.
do they still make Rolodexes? That's what you need to do is make,
I
make a
think
Rolodex
they
for
do.
'em.
I think they do.
Remember when Rolodex was like, I mean, that was like gold. I mean,
Mama loved them, but
I carried a
Dad
Rolodex
loved
around for probably 25 years, and I ended up with names and addresses in there from back in the 60s, well up into the 80s, or maybe even the early 90s. I don't know, but I had a rather substantial Rolodex.
Joe Morgan says yes, they do.
Yeah, haven't seen one of those in a long time.
I do have one in my studio right now.
Do you?
Yeah, sure do. It's a little bit mini one, but it's the one. It's a Rolodex with
Yeah.
replaceable cords. Hello, Jess. Welcome. It's good to see
Hey,
you.
hi, Jess.
Hope you're doing well today, dear heart. Office Depot carries them. I'll have to look. If Mom
Yeah.
thinks that he can use them, I don't know.
Joe, you're right. I mean, seeing the difficulties that people have with what we consider to be simple technologies can be amusing, but I dread it happening to me. I mean,
Amazon's where I found the phone.
I'm still I'd say-
Semi-tech
I'd
literate.
say I'm still 95% mentally there, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I haven't lost.
maybe 93%.
Oh, okay. I haven't lost more than a step or two mentally, so I still understand technology, and I still know how the internet got built, and et cetera, et cetera. Because man, I was there.
I was going to say that's because you and I were there when they were building
I
it.
was there. I was literally on the forefront. Of course, I predicted back in 1995 where the internet would go, and I predicted then that you would be able to buy cars, that you would be able to book vacations. And at this time, you couldn't do any of that stuff.
Joe says he's 32 and he doesn't understand a lot of the stuff.
That there would be technology where we could have, real time, face to face, video and audio communication between two people anywhere in the world. And I said that was coming. I predicted a whole lot of this stuff, that the commerce side of it, even buying a house.
Yeah,
I said you'll be able to buy a house online, or rent an apartment stuff. And unfortunately, what good did it do me financially?
No.
None whatsoever.
The wiring in their home exists, and the way the new phones are made, they sound like dial and they look like dial, but technically inside it works with the touch tone. I'm not sure how it works, but it does.
Well, Joe, part of the reason that I understand the internet is because I literally did help build part of it. I mean, not physically, but when I got out of the Air Force, I went to work for an outfit called Sterling Software, and we did secure communications packages for all the top secret government agencies, the White House, CIA, FBI, all the embassies overseas, basically anything that was encrypted.
All the 3 and 4 letter agencies.
Yeah, went through our software. And we were building that based on the 7 layers of technology that are inside the internet for everything that we do. And I had to get pretty familiar with all that because I was writing the user manuals on how to use it. So,
Joe, he's a politician. You can't trust politicians. Al Gore said he invented the internet.
well, he might have invented it, but he didn't perfect it, by God.
Well, I know I was using what became the internet back in the 80s because I worked at the University of Texas in Austin, and we transferred information on research from universities here to universities all over the world on
ARPANET.
Yes, that's it.
Yep, I was around for that one too.
So
yeah, we are older than dirt. But there's a lot of people that were around the beginning of when 90. When would you say the internet became real popular? 97, 96?
I'd say 95 and 96, yeah.
Because, by the way, Kate and I met on the internet.
In 1996.
And I was in Nebraska, she was in Texas, and we met on a server that was physically located in England. And so, go figure. And I'll tell you what. If I were to tell you about the specifics of how Kate and I met, you would not believe the serendipity of the whole thing.
Yes. Yes.
My life companion was waiting for me on a server in England, and I didn't know it. And I found her the day after my then wife asked me for a divorce on my frickin' birthday.
Yep.
So it was the 2nd of February of 1995 when I met Kate, because my birthday is the 1st. And that was the day that Susan handed me divorce papers. Her timing was always impeccable. Boy, I'll tell you that. So anywho.
I just get plain notebooks with lined paper and set aside 2 pages for each letter, and you've got an address book.
Yeah, Windows 98 would change the world. Yep. It did in a lot of ways.
Bill Gates has changed the world in a lot of ways.
Oh, God, yes. That's...
He now is investing in real estate like crazy.
Well, there's one thing that there's no more of, and that's land.
That's true. Well, I don't know.
Except in volcanoes, but come on.
And there are places where they're digging up soil from other places and bringing it and putting it down there. So.
But that's still the existing land. They're just moving it around, right?
They're just moving around.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. You found the jars, but no lid. You mean no extra lids, Amy, or no lids, period? What you looking at me for? Why were you looking at me? Because you breathed.
Oh, okay.
You do that all the time. Nothing new.
You just want to make sure I was still breathing.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, I got that. Okay, so what was our topic for today, too? By the way, what's our
Happy
title?
Sunday, the
Oh,
last
okay.
one of March.
Yep, in like a lion, out like a lamb.
Mm-hmm.
It's what,
Oh, by the
28th?
way, Susanna, I used some of those Bernardin regular mouth jar lids that you sent me, and they worked beautifully. I had no problem with them at all. You looked for 2 weeks for one, had no luck, didn't think to try Staples or Office Supply. I guess you're talking about your address books. Hello, Chaz. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I grew up in an era where we didn't just go to the store and buy things like address books. We found a way to make them. And I've always just done that. I tell people because I'm too cheap to buy one. I've got extra paper lying around. That's like when I was a kid, and even sometimes now I do this. My mom would buy like breakfast cereal. And when we finished the cereal, she'd cut the box into the section, the wide and the two sides and the wide back. And she'd use those for lists. The two side ones always made great grocery lists because you didn't need a lot of room up or across, but up and down was great. And the wide back and front would make a telephone list that you keep by the phone of all the numbers and names.
Boy, now that's some frugal there.
That's what
That's
we did.
frugal.
I still do it. I have
Yeah, I've noticed
inside
that.
my junk drawer, I have a whole bunch of the inside of the butter packages because they're white on the inside. So I have white paper to write on. I write my list on those little white things and bring them with me. You're right, Chaz. Charity does begin at home. And I tend to be pretty tight. My mom was the world's worst. She'd squeeze a penny so hard it'd scream. So my dad always used to say she'd squeeze a penny so hard it'd get change. My mother-in-law did that with all her cereal boxes. Yeah, my mom did too. And I don't eat cereal anymore, so now I use the inside of my butter boxes with the butter comes, four quarter pounds and a
Butter bowls are Cajun Tupperware.
Yes, I agree. Except I don't buy margarine. But there are other things that come in those bowls.
Well, the stuff that we get now from carryout,
Yeah.
plateware and stuff has really come a long ways in the last 3 years. They had to do better than just wrap it in foil and throw it in. Styrofoam wasn't working, so now they've got some better containers for the food that you bring home.
Yeah, and I save them, and I've got a whole box of them in there, and the lids fit, and they're really nice. I've got a whole bunch of them.
You could stack a bunch of them in the refrigerator.
And I
They're
have
good
this
for
narrow tape. What kind of tape is that called?
Freezer tape.
No, not freezer tape. Masking tape.
Well, that is
I have
another
another-
form of freezer tape.
Oh,
But yeah, okay.
I have narrow masking tape and a black fine point marker. And I write on the outside of it what's in there and the date I put it in there. Because otherwise, and even yet with that, sometimes I have wonderful science experiments that turn green and grow in the back of the refrigerator.
You have to remember, I used to be a food inspector,
And it drives him crazy.
and I have a pretty highly trained nose for detecting malodors, especially spoilage in food. And every now and then I go breezing through the kitchen, and it just kind of hits me that there's something bad in the refrigerator, Kate. It's gonna eat us alive if we don't get rid of it. It will soon have a beating heart. So,
Yeah,
so
Susanna,
don't
they
forget-
are good lids, and I was very pleased with them. I really was.
Of course, now Kate's not happy unless that refrigerator is just absolutely packed as full as it can be.
No, it's not that Kate's not happy. It's David doesn't eat leftovers very often, and I can't find a way to make small enough portions that we can only feed the two of us. I don't know how to cook for two. I really don't.
Hell, we don't even know how to order for two. We always end up with
Right?
way more food than we want whenever we call out.
Chaz Devlin got some coupons from a cereal box yesterday, and some of them have games on the boxes. Well, I quit eating cereal, so I don't have those anymore, but Lord knows I had them for a while.
And for some reason, I've kind of stopped drinking milk. I used to drink milk by the gallon. And for some reason, I
Hello,
seem to be off
Donna. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Donna.
She's learning to cook for two. Oh, I wish you, when you learn, let me know, because I still can't.
Yeah.
Jess said, I love leftovers. I'll go without having to cook for a couple of days. Yeah, me too, but he really doesn't care for them. I started
Yeah, blame
writing
it on
Bible
me.
verses
Blame it
and
on me.
address books, but I did not like the translation I was using. I'm a King James Version person, so that's why I'm looking for another address book. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. What did you say?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
Oh, that was 10 seconds ago. How do you expect me to remember that?
Because you started saying it.
Boy, the birds have been nice and quiet today.
Yeah. Shh, don't say anything. They'll start.
Yeah, I
making
probably jinxed it.
Well,
When we had the house done too, we took them to the vet and had them boarded overnight so they wouldn't be in the house with all those chemicals.
I had their
That was a
nails.
goat rope.
Had a mani and a pedidone on each of them too.
Yeah, that was a bit of a goat rope. Getting
Yes.
three birds into, well, two of them went in carriers and one went on Kate's shoulder. And it went pretty well. Oh.
Amy, that's exactly what I do, and I'm trying not to do that. And I've even tried taking the leftovers and freezing them in some of those to-go containers and bringing them out later at like a whole new meal, but it just doesn't seem to work. Kibbles, no soft food and treats. Oh, my cat. My cat only wants to eat one thing, and that's those Temptations treats. He does not like food of any other kind.
And she's got the dog really spoiled now too. She makes dog food out of
Our food.
leftover chicken parts and chicken stock and all kinds of stuff, veggies and rice. And
I tried using leftovers for that, and he
the
didn't do too
dog's
well.
getting a little bit pudgy.
Yeah.
But he's eating very
Hence
well.
the arm.
He's eating very well.
And he is healthy.
Yeah, he is that. Well, let's see. What are we going to do today, sweetheart? When we get on here, what are we going to do? What's on your agenda for the rest of the day?
Well, I've got to start bringing all my laundry in from the garage and getting it back in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the clothes that I haven't, I did all your clothes, but I have the clothes that I wore all last week that need to be washed.
Okay.
I need to go through the house and empty out all the trash because trash day is Wednesday and I need to get it down to the street by Tuesday. And I don't remember what else I have.
There's probably still some stuff in there in the study that needs to come back out into the bedroom too.
Yes, or into the living room too.
Yeah.
I didn't make a whole lot of plans on where to put things when I was back.
This ended up being kind of a chaotic exercise just because it got so darn busy. There was a lot of other stuff going on and slowed us down. And I'm not worth a damn doing all this stuff anymore. It just kills me, but I'm a very good encourager. I'm a very good reading section.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all I'm good for.
And
Anyway.
sometimes that is what's really needed.
You
Chaz,
know, 6 treats a day.
6 treats
She
a day
wants
wouldn't
no
even
cuddles.
begin to make his breakfast. And he doesn't cuddle.
Yeah, he does.
Well, he sleeps on me. He doesn't cuddle.
Oh, he's
He
cuddling.
just comes up and sleeps on me.
Yeah,
I am a great
that's-
pet dad.
That's cuddling. That is cuddling.
Every evening I'll sit down in my recliner and put my feet up, and within 10 minutes of sitting down, I have the dog on my right side and the cat on my left side, and they're both sleeping soundly.
And she's got a little piece of the chair for herself.
It's like when I go to bed at night. I lie down, I have the dog at my feet and the cat in the middle of my back. We have a king-size bed, and I have less than what would be a twin size that I can sleep on because of the animals.
Not true.
Ah, I beg your pardon.
Not true. You got a little more than that, but anyway.
Not much. especially.
Well, as long as you're not blaming me for taking up too
No,
much of the
I
day.
didn't say you. I said it was the animals. It wouldn't do me any good to blame him anyway. He'd deny it.
But you're still my gal, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's all it counts.
Be your gal forever, no matter what.
Okay. I'll hold you to that.
Okay. You're holding me to it, right?
And pinky squirt too.
Yeah, but you can't let go now because you're holding me to it.
Break my finger. She tried to break my finger.
No, I'm just trying to hold you to it.
Mhm.
That way I don't have to do anything today.
Uh,
I've got to admit though, guys, Sunday is generally my day of rest.
yeah, it is.
Sunday, usually after the live stream, I go in and fix us something to eat, or sit down and order us something to eat, and then I spend the day sitting in my chair enjoying myself. With those looks, you'll have
She
lost.
spends a lot of time on her phone. She's got. How many games do you think you have on your phone?
One page worth, 9, 10. I just play them over and over and over and over.
I think I have 3 games on my phone. I've got one that's poker that I go to the site to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got one of those where you search the rooms for the hidden objects.
Mhm.
I've got one of those.
I had one. I got rid of
And I've
that.
got one first-person shooter where you're going out and shooting up the countryside. That's it. That's all I got. The solitaire version that's on my phone is like a 1950s version for phones. It's
I've got
pitiful. You've got 50 different solitaires.
5 mahjong games,
Yeah.
and I've got at least the same number of solitaire games. And then I got another page full of nothing but crossword puzzles, different kinds of crossword puzzles.
So she's always got her nose in her phone.
Poor baby, am I ignoring
Oh,
you?
yeah, I feel bad. She's not taking care of me.
You know, Joe, I don't do YouTube. That's not true. I do some YouTube, but I don't do it like I used
Do you
to.
want to amend that a little bit?
Yeah. I just don't do it like I used to. I used to be on YouTube constantly, all day long, 7 days a week. And I think I kind of got burned out on it.
No, there's a cool thing.
What?
Diamond has a jar with Temptations treats in it, and a cat has to touch the jar if she wants a treat. That's kind of a cool idea.
That is a neat idea. How did you teach
Yeah.
her to do that? Joe refuses to carry it.
and if I put all the games on my phone that I wanted, that's all I'd have room for. Yeah, and Donna, you don't have any on yours either. Oh my gosh. PS4 console with 176 games. Wow.
Hello, Anya. How are you? You just deleted all the games off your phone. You were losing hours just playing games.
Yeah. I tried, I think this was back in like PS2 days, but I tried to get interested in a game console, and I guess I'm just the wrong generation for the coordination and everything. I was never very good. I was too jerky, and I'd go into the first-person shooter games, and I'd get killed right off the bat. And I didn't like the online versions because everybody else would just eat my lunch, and I was dead. After a while, I think they recognized that I was just dog food. They'd come right after me as soon as I came in. And the other ones, the puzzle games and all that, they don't interest me that much. So, driving games, I've done some of those, where you're driving a race car and all that stuff. Those I kind of enjoy.
Joe, I
Okay,
don't
it's that
get
whole
worried
tracking
about
device.
the tracking because there's so many ways they can track you now that even if you have a track on your phone and you leave your phone at home, they can still find you. With all the facial recognition and cameras everywhere and GPS in your cars and all the other stuff. If anybody wants to track you, they can.
There's no hiding anymore, Joe, to be honest with you. You know how they make it on the TV shows, like if I break my phone, they can't find me? Bullshit. There's enough CCTVs out there now that, even as as remotely as we live out here, we probably still get our pictures taken a few times a day, at least by a satellite. So, well, Chaz, I'm glad you're good at games, because the last game that I was any good at was Asteroids. So that tells you anything.
Well, I like single person games, the ones where I play by myself. I don't want people coming in from all over the net and playing. I want to play myself. Even the gin rummy games I have.
Now,
I
Joe,
play the computer.
I'm not wed to my phone the way a lot of people are. My kids give me hell sometimes because they claim that I'm ignoring them, or because I don't really like using the phone anymore. I made my living on the phone for years.
Me too.
I worked for the help desk for the state of Florida for all the computer users statewide. That was a pretty busy job. And then I went to work for the Governor's Commission on Disabilities, and I was working in what they called the Clearinghouse on Disability Information, which we took calls from anybody in the 67 counties of Florida regarding disability issues. Everything from A to Z. I mean, everything. And of course, that was on the phone. So I was on the phone all day, every day. And, you just get burned out on that stuff. So I'm not much for just sitting around chatting on the phone anymore.
My problem is, even with my hearing aids, I don't hear well on the phone. And it's very frustrating, both for me and for the people I'm trying to talk to, because we just can't hear each other, and a conversation is almost impossible. You can ask Donna. She knows. Hooked on Ancestry to pass the time. The
Yeah, a lot of people doing
Ancestry.com.
that, like 23andMe. Is that the stuff you're talking about, Ruth? My kids did that, and they told me, well, my son told me that when he got the profile back on himself, that he was not susceptible to all these various conditions and things that genetically we can be predisposed to. And I said, Josh, I've been telling you for years that our peasant stock upbringing, I said, it goes back a couple of thousand years, but only the survivors managed to bring us into the world. So over those spans of 1,000 years, all the famines and plagues and diseases and infections and everything that killed off millions and millions of people did not kill our line. So I said, I've known for years that I've got the immune system. I'm as healthy as a horse. I'll put it that way. I've never had the flu, ever. No, once. When I got a flu shot, I got the flu. But that was a induced case, but I've never had the flu. I had a bacterial pneumonia when I was about 15, and that's the only time I've had pneumonia. But I have had valley fever twice, which is actually, that one is I think is a fungus more than anything else. It's seen a lot around archaeological sites in areas that are really dusty. And I lived down in South Texas and in Central Arizona, both of which are very dusty. So I ended up with valley fever twice, which I think contributes to my COPD today, because it damaged my lungs. And every time they shoot x-rays of my lungs, they get panicked because there's these things in my lungs. Well, they're what they call calcified artifacts from back when I had valley fever.
Joe, I understand what you're saying about the incident in Colorado and how people were on their phones instead of helping others.
Mm-hmm.
I think at least part of that also has to do with the fact that people are afraid to help each other now, because so many people who reached out to help got sued for doing what the people that were helped thought were the wrong thing to do. So I know my dad and I used to teach first aid classes, and everybody wanted to know first aid. And we had people just from all walks of life taking the first aid classes, and it dropped off and it dropped off and it dropped off because so many people were getting sued for helping, and they were not doctors, so they were making educated guesses, and sometimes it didn't work out right. And
Yeah,
you're,
and
you're
Joe,
right.
you're right. Good Samaritan. There's some in place. I mean, there are Good Samaritan laws, but that doesn't stop them from coming after and making your life hell. They still file suit, but then you got to defend yourself and prove that you were just trying to be a good Samaritan. You know what I mean? It's
So
a very strange society right now. You're right. People would rather film something horrible happening than get in there and try to help anybody. It's rather sickening, actually.
and it is part of it is the fascination with filming on the phone, but another part of it is the Good Samaritan situation.
Yep. It's hard to do anything right anymore. No matter what you do, somebody's going to figure you're wrong. It's just like no matter what your opinion is, could be somebody that wants to kill you for it.
Our society is encouraging closing ourselves into a room with no reaching out to anything that isn't electronic. They want you to not have anything to do with other people. They want you to not have anything to do with being outside or growing your own food or raising your own animals or stuff like that. That's why there are so many people that are so involved in the homesteading, because people want to be outside, but our society really doesn't encourage it. A lot of folks out there call us crazy because we want to garden and we want to raise our own meat animals and things like that. Well, if you don't want to eat meat, that's your prerogative, but I do, and I want to raise my meat, and people think I'm crazy. You with me?
Yeah,
Just our society has gone
our society has
bonkers.
gone crazy, just gone crazy. And yeah, you're right, Kate. It's all the like-minded lunatics want to get together, and boy, when they do, then all of a sudden they're a faction, and they have clout and they have influence, and people listen to them even though they're screwed up in the head, and it gives everybody a
You're right, Chad.
inflated feeling of self-importance. That's Chaz. That's a touchy subject.
Yeah. From the daughter
No
of a
matter where
police
you go.
officer, it's very difficult for me to address that.
I'll tell you a quick story, Chaz, about first responders and cops and firemen and stuff. After 9/11, every time I saw a law enforcement officer, first responder, EMT, whatever,
Fireman, whatever.
I would make a point, if I was in a restaurant or something, I'd make a point, go up to them, introduce myself, and tell them simply that I was very grateful for what they did every day in putting their lives on the line by being out there for us to help us in the events of emergencies. And I probably within a couple of years had thanked well over 3,000 law enforcement and first responders in Florida. I got stopped one time on the highway, and the highway patrolman, of course, wrote me the ticket. I was speeding, and I didn't deny it. And then when they came up to give me my ticket, I asked him if I could get out of the car. And I just said, I would like to say something to you, but I'd like to say it to you eye to eye. So when I got out of the car, and I thanked him for being out there on the roads every day, keeping it safe for us, and blasey, blasey, blasey. And he got a big old tear in his eye, and he said, I'm afraid I already wrote your ticket, sir. I wish I could tear it up, but I haven't had anybody say thank you to me in months and months and months. And so if I wouldn't have done it first no matter what, because, I deserved the ticket. But, I mean, you're going to have an impact on these people. One day I went up and I found at a table at a pizza place I went, there were 8 very senior police officers. I mean, I'm talking 3 stars on the epaulets on down to like a colonel's insignia. And I went up and thanked them, and every single one of them stood up and shook my hand. 2 of them were women, so there were a lot of horsepower in the police departments, and because they were sheriffs, highway patrol, Tallahassee police, we had a lot of people. So, but anyway, I've done that. Even recently, not so much recently because I haven't seen any.
Yeah, you
But anytime I see law enforcement people, I mean, the guys that came and got me and took me to the hospital here this last time, as I'm on the way to the hospital, I'm having a little trouble breathing and everything else. I still took a minute to thank them for being out there and saving everybody's lives. And I wish I could have done it in the bedroom because there were, what, 6 of them in there at that time? 6 big old burly EMTs came in there and dragged my
At
sorry
least
ass
6,
out.
maybe 8.
I think it was 8, actually. There for a time, it was 8. And I wanted to say thank you to all of them. I just didn't get a chance. But anyway, talking about the police,
There
they
are
need
always
protection. They need protection. And if it is protection from prosecution, although there ought to be a line about what is gross misuse of power.
Yeah.
But that is such a hard line to draw. Because there are vindictive and sadistic police officers out there. I agree.
there are bad apples in every
There are guys and women too that get into police work simply because they can flex their authority, and it feeds something very deep in them that really it ought not to be fed, but that's the way it is.
Country homestead preacher. My father was a police officer in one capacity or another most of my life, not just adult life. And it is scary to be in
Yep.
policing. It's also scary to be in the fire business, fighting fires and things like that, and first responders, EMTs, and things like that. Being in public service in those emergency, upfront, in your face positions are very scary. And the rougher the city, the scarier it gets, because you get surrounded by a lot of people who really don't have the filters in their brains to make them stop and think, what am I doing? What am I saying? What's going on in this situation? And how do I need to react to it?
You're right. That's very true.
They simply lash out because that's all they know.
That's all I know how to do. We've become such a violent society.
Mm-hmm. Myself and my husband are both police officers in Ireland. There's always some bad apples in every country and job. That's exactly the point I was trying to make. Yes.
Otzi, thank you for doing what you do, and your husband as well.
Yes.
I have nothing but respect for the police, first responders, fire department folks, and all that. And I can't say enough good things about them because they're all the ones that run to danger instead of away from it have my support.
I guess we ought to call those people emergency service workers
Oh yeah.
instead of all these other names.
Well, first responders pretty much covers all of it too, but yeah. Oh, RCMP in Canada. Yeah, I'm with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Well, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
Are they still mounted?
I think some of them are. They
Are
still, yeah.
Well, I know that here, like in New York, we still have mounted police.
Yeah, there's
But
still
there's
some in the
not-
city.
Maybe there's some in San Antonio, come to think of it,
Yeah, there
around
are.
parade time.
Yeah, there are. How much do they get used just for special events or what? Or are they out there every day? I don't know.
I think in San Antonio, they're usually, at least they're the most visible during special occasions, parades. and
Unarmed police force in Ireland. Wow.
unarmed police force. Oh my
That would
goodness.
get, yeah, you're right. That would get pretty
Yeah.
scary.
That would be very frightening. That's
Well, I guess that's still true in even in all of England is the cops are not armed. Like the bobbies.
England and
The
Ireland.
Yeah, the bobbies. But wow,
The UK. Is Ireland considered part of the UK?
I believe it is.
And Scotland too, right?
Let's ask Otzi. I'd hate to answer that wrong.
I would think. Now, if the police are unarmed, is it more frequent that the perpetrators are also unarmed?
Well, yeah, it's a lot harder to get weapons in England. It's basically kind of against the law to own them, except for like rifles for hunting and things of that sort.
Handguns mostly are outlawed.
Yeah, handguns, automatic weapons, all that sort of stuff.
Chad says some are still mounted, but they're mostly events and crowd control.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. There's some country back there that anything other than horses won't get there. Oh, okay. Got your groceries put away. Now you missed all the good stuff there.
Yay! Welcome. I'm glad you're back.
Brett, you missed all the good stuff, all of the good things we were saying about the first responders and the police and fire department and all that. You should have been listening.
And
Your ears should have been
mostly-
burning, partner.
mostly for show now. They have a wonderful display they put on during some fairs.
Yeah. Always wanted to see the Calgary Stampede. I would
Northern
have loved to
Ireland
have
is
seen
the
that.
UK.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Republic of Ireland. And that's a very touchy subject, I'm sure.
I'm sure it is. And those of us in the U.S. don't really understand
No, we don't.
the dividing there.
Not the way the Irish do.
Good for you, Amy. Yeah, sorry, Brett. You missed all the shoulder patting.
You need to play back about the last 15 minutes before now.
Whoops, wrong one.
We've been talking about you and your like. But I'll repeat it again for you, Brett. As always, you have my undying respect and admiration for the job you do. So that's what it comes down to.
Gotta make room in the freezer for you.
For those of you that don't know, Brett's a fireman.
That's what I'm thinking too, Amy. I have not used all of the chickens from last time yet. I've used quite a few, but not all of them. So I need to start making some broth so the new ones will have a place to live. A very touchy subject for some. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand the touchiness part. I'm, not having ever lived through it, or, it's not part of my heritage. I don't understand the turmoil, but I certainly have seen it and sympathize with it on both sides. Yes, actually.
Brett
How your
says they
points-
stand because of supporters like us.
Well, then stand tall there, big boy.
Ruth, they are doing beautifully. We have baby peaches on our peach trees, and our mulberry trees are leafed out. I don't know yet whether they're going to have mulberries on them because they're very young trees, although they're 10 or 12 feet tall. They grow like crazy. But most everything made it through the freeze. Now I just have to get things planted. And now that the big rush is over to get the house sprayed, I can start working on that.
Yep.
You ordered 75, got 78, and you only lost 2. That's cool. So with 76,
So now you still got 76 left.
does that mean that there's going to be more than 30 each? Because I need to make more room in the freezer.
You could always just take less. You don't have to take your full allotment,
Well, that's what I did
Take
last time.
Take the number you want.
That's what I did last time. But then if I don't take my allotment, Amy has to find a place to store them too. Because see, they're
Or
already
share them-
paid
Or
for.
share them with somebody else.
Yep. I
Whichever.
know Donna wants some. And Mama said she wants some, so I need to find out from them. But I need to know how many I'm dealing with. Those pictures that you sent on the messenger of the baby's chicks look so cute. All those little yellow fluffy things running around in that box.
Well, take them on his thighs and drumsticks and breasts.
And backs and wings and that 1999 Dublin and their unrest was in the news a lot. I want to say IRS, but not sure of the name. Well,
IRA, wasn't it? Irish Republican, IRA.
could be. I don't know.
I think it was the IRA.
The
Well,
only
that's-
thing I'm real familiar with, I know we did have Ireland in my background, but the only part of that I know is that we were Protestant Irish instead of being Catholic Irish, and there was some kind of a big problem there.
Brett said if they got more than they need, he can make a few calls.
Okay. Hello, Howie. It's good to see you. Irish, not
I know there's a great distinction there between being Irish and English.
Wrong, being English. I couldn't do that.
Rory McIlroy is a pretty good indicator of that. He's Irish. Yep.
Yeah, but then you have to take all that poop and let it age for a year before you can use it on your garden. Just like I would if I got we have a horse farm around the corner from us, and the people that owned it have said that I'm welcome to come down and get horse manure anytime I want it. But there again, I'd have to let it sit out and age for a year before I could use it. I just need to get rabbits. You can use rabbit poop immediately, and you can also eat them, and you have lovely fur that you can tan and make nice things with. Just boiled a roast for beef stock. Very good. My 3 ducks are arriving Wednesday. Had chickens for the first time getting ducks. My brother-in-law's housemate brought me 18 duck eggs 2 days ago. So I've got to get busy cooking duck eggs because they taste better than chicken eggs.
I can't really tell the difference.
I can.
I have a very plebeian taste in food, I guess.
Well, I think now that you've quit smoking, I think that your taste is going to change. And you may
Well,
know
that should
it.
have happened pretty quick. But anyway, okay.
Let me know.
You
when
have
you
all the
get
crap you need, yeah. Amy says, let her know when you want rabbits.
Mm-hmm. My neighbor at Horses says you can have all the crap you need. That's what mine said too. Only mine says if you want it, you got to come muck it out of the stalls yourself. But his wife said that they put it all in a big pile out behind the barns, so I can go there and muck it into my totes that way. Duck eggs are great for baking. That's what I've heard, and I plan on making some cookies in the near future, and I want to make some
Oatmeal raisin.
oatmeal raisin for him, and I want to make some chocolate chip for me, and I want to make some peanut butter for the guys up at the end of the street. So I'll be doing a lot of cooking.
Hello, Heritage Heart.
Good to see you. Welcome. Yeah,
Everybody showed up just about the time I'm ready to take off.
yeah, it's about time for your
Yeah.
golf to come on.
Yeah, golf may or may not be really interesting today.
Ah, okay.
Well, it's a different format of golf. It's
Oh, there's that batch thing.
it's a match play.
Confusing.
I'm not a big fan of match play, but now today, I believe it's the finals. I think it's down to like 4 guys, and it's they've played their way through a series of elimination rounds, so it
Good
might be
point,
pretty interesting.
Ruth said I ought to make a baking video of all the cookies.
Yeah, we should be doing a lot of videos, but seems like both of us have kind of lost our gunners to make videos here lately. Kate has asked me to migrate some of the videos from her old channel over to the new channel, and I keep thinking about it, but I haven't done it yet. What can I say?
I'm eating to learn more low sugar. That reminds me, Amy, I'm bringing you some books on low sugar and diabetic cooking, period. So you will have some more. You're right, live streams are fun. And that right now, this channel, that's all it has. So,
Yeah, pretty much. Well, folks, I'm going to go dig into something else here. I got things to go and places to be, and
all the time in the world to get there.
People to assume identities of, and so on and so forth. And this is also the time Kate starts getting the prayer requests, and
Yep.
she always likes to have a few minutes alone with you guys without me, so she can talk bad about me. I know what goes on behind my back.
You can watch the replay and see how good I talk about
Yeah,
you.
say it in front of my back. So anyway, you all take care. We love you. We continue to pray for everybody. And your prayers for us are appreciated too, because things have been kind of hard on Kate here lately. And I'm where I am. So anyhow, love you all. You all have a good day. I'll see you later, sweetie.
All righty.
Maybe I can get out of here without hurting myself.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah,
Thank you, Amy. Y'all are in ours as well. Allie, oh, I'm glad you're back. Oh, Allie made an onion pizza. That sounds wonderful. I love onions. Okay, as far as prayer requests, we have Howie Jones and the Broussards on the list. Susanna is on the list as well.
Wow.
Anyone else have specific prayer requests that I can put on here? Allie? Well,
Oh,
all
yeah?
of a sudden the boys are going to make some noise. Anyone else have any prayer requests? Heritage Heart said, see you later, David.
Okay, I'm off like a herd of turtles.
Yeah, the birds want prayers. Oh dear, I will definitely add you, Heritage Heart. Yeah, I hope you feel better. The family's in Boulder. Okay. Howie made almond coconut cookies and used applesauce to sweeten grass-fed butter and coconut butter. Ooh, that sounds wonderful, Howie. Amy said those in the path of storms. Those affected by nasty weathers. Okay, same thing. And I also want to ask y'all to continue, please, to pray for those who are dealing with COVID issues. My oldest daughter had it, and she had apparently, actually, both of my daughters had it and had mild cases, but my oldest daughter lost her sense of taste, and I have not heard whether she's gotten it back or not. So I definitely am sensitive to those folks. Is there anyone else who had something that we want to pray for? Howie, I have you on there for your upcoming medical. Oh, I want to add myself to y'all's list because on the 1st of April, I am going to have dental surgery. And Copper Kettle Farms. I have trouble saying that just like Abby used to. Anyway, on the 1st of April, I am going to be having some dental surgery. They're going to remove an implanted post because, unfortunately, it ended up abscessing. I've had problems with abscesses all my life. So, thank you, Joe. If it were my regular dentist doing this, I would have absolutely no qualms whatsoever. I have one of the world's most unbelievably wonderful dentists. But he no longer works with those. He now has a partner who does it, and I've not been favorably impressed with the partner at this point. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Good luck, Miss Kate. Hope it goes well and not much pain. I am very fortunate in that I have an extremely high pain threshold for dental pain. Amy has some upcoming medical tests. I have that on the list already. For Heather at Needy Homestead, yes. Have you heard whether she's out of the hospital or not yet? Discouraged and depression. Also, those with SAD. SAD is a really awful situation. I feel very bad about it. Let's see. Howie says, "Thank you, Kate. I had 4 teeth pulled 3 days ago, and all my toenails are being removed April the 8th. I'm in treatment at the cancer clinic, as that's where they treat me." Howie, we do have you on the list, and you are prayed for daily. So, well, folks, if there's anything else, please let me know. I do add to this list all during the week. So if something else comes up, I'd be glad to add it and we would pray. In the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Next week when I come on, I probably will not have teeth in because of the dental surgery. You get to see me toothless, or maybe I'll just wear a mask so it doesn't show. But anyway, have a super week. We love you. Stay safe. And you pray yourself to sleep every night. So do I, Allie. So do I. It's the best way to go to sleep, and it keeps me in touch with the Father, and it keeps me in touch with those who need the help and the love. Love you too, Amy, and we love you all. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless.